Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2021 love reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional guidance. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Contemplation. So this is actually the equivalent of the Hermit card in traditional tarot, which is Virgo energy. So for some of you, this could just be saying that there might be some physical distance between the two of you at this time, but I do feel like you probably think about this person quite a bit, and I'm also getting the impression that there might not be much communication between the two of you, given that his back is turned on the cards on his side. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is actually a Capricorn energy here, but usually it represents an energy of being a bit guarded. And if we look here, it looks like, if we look at the male figure in the card, it looks like he's definitely a little reluctant to actually touch the woman. So it could be one of those things where they were a bit hesitant to approach you as well, even though we see that fire in the background, which to me would represent like a passionate energy. So I feel like it's saying they definitely had an attraction toward you, but seeing the artwork here, I feel like it's saying for a lot of you, they were a bit hesitant to approach you. And like I already mentioned on your side, it looks like you might have been thinking about them quite a bit, but not necessarily communicating it. So obviously we see in the past, it looks like there was a disconnect. All right, in the present on your side, we have Magic, and we have the Seven of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here, and this is the equivalent of the Magician. So for some of you, it could just be saying that you might have a desire to manifest a connection, but you're not sure where to begin. For some of you, this could be someone that you've been friends with for a while too. So maybe that's part of the issue where you're like, I don't know how to overcome that hurdle, right? Okay, we've been friends for a long time. How do we take it to the next level? So it could be one of those situations. Some of you could just be saying, again, if we look at that figure by her side, it looks like he's not physically in a room with her. So yeah, it could just still be an issue of physical distance, right? So maybe you're trying to figure out how could you close that gap, the physical gap between the two of you, if not just emotional. Present energy on their side, we have the Knave of Swords. So with this card, I'm getting a similar energy to what I was mentioning with the Four of Pentacles, where I feel like there's a bit of a hesitancy on their part to reach out to you, to express themselves, to express that they're attracted to you for whatever reason. Like I said, maybe it's just that you guys have been friends for a while, and maybe the feelings might have come on more recently, and neither of you know how to navigate that necessarily. That's certainly a possibility. For some of you, might even be working together, so that could be another layer to the dynamic that makes it a bit tricky. But yeah, getting a similar vibe there to what I saw here, which is to say they definitely seem to have the attraction, but seem reluctant to approach at the same time. Alright, future energy on your side, we have the Princess of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Wands. So we saw page energy on their side, now we see it on their side in the future. We do see that she's moving away from the cards on their side, but I always notice in the artwork here, there we go, how she's kind of looking over her shoulder a little bit. So for some of you, might just kind of run off from the connection, but also possibly hoping that they would chase after you, or even if you're just leaving it behind because you have other responsibilities to tend to, it looks like you still do at least want to keep the door open toward being with this person. But yeah, through all these cards so far, it doesn't look like there's actual physical communication around these desires. Future energy on their side, we have the Queen of Swords, so Libra energy here. So yeah, given that for you guys, Libra energy is your 10th house, this could be another indicator that maybe the two of you work together. And like I said, maybe that's what's tricky about it, right? Especially if one of you is a subordinate within the job dynamic to each other. That could be part of what the hurdle is that you might feel like is a bit tricky. But yeah, either way, looks like they want you to take charge, and given the energy that I see here where you're like running away from them, looks like you might want them to take the lead as well. So really, this entire spread, this looks like a repeating theme, which is to say it seems like both of you want it, but neither of you is actually making the move toward the other for whatever reason. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the 5 of coins. So this is Taurus energy here, and we are going to have a full moon eclipse in Taurus toward the end of Scorpio season. So could be pointing to that as far as the timeline goes, but yeah, looks like this could just be how you're feeling, right? Like there's the disconnect between the two of you, neither of you are talking, obviously. If we look at her facial expression, she looks pretty disappointed as well. So whether you physically walked away or you feel like they're just not coming toward you, all right, well, it won't focus, but looks like there's definite disappointment around that. And then the bottom of the deck on their side, they have the 3 of Swords. So similar energy as far as feeling heartbreak and disappointment there too. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's a layer of history that the two of you have that I'm not seeing from this spread in particular. So for example, maybe you guys already have gone through a breakup and now there's possibly the desire to get back together, but neither wants to be the first to make the move. Or you guys have never been together, but you're just disappointed in each other because you're both expecting the other to make the move. But the one constant in here does seem to be that there's definitely a mutual desire on both your parts to actually be together. So interesting spread, but we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. So first we'll see what we get from the Aqua Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and first I'll be looking for jumpers as far as unspoken messages from you to them and then from them to you. But if nothing comes up that way, I'll just actually put the deck down and we'll pull a card for each side. But we'll see if we get anything. So, like I said, first we're looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Oh, got one there that won't go back in the deck. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. All right, and there's one from their side. So let's see what we got on your side first. All right, we have Memory, I Miss You. So yeah, for some of you there could be more history than I thought originally, and like I said, at the very least, this card in particular made me think there might be a physical distance between the two of you. So it could just be as simple as that. Maybe that's the primary issue. Maybe you used to live in the same area together and one of you moved away, but that's what I see on that. And then on their side, we have Intensity. It says, the feelings I have for you overwhelm me, so I run away to process them. Well, funny enough, the main running away energy we see seems to be with the Princess of Staves on the future energy on your side. But yeah, overall, I could definitely see that, right? Where, like I said, we saw the passion there with the fire in the background, but it looks like there's that hesitancy to actually make that move to express their feelings towards you. So this I could totally see making sense. So yeah, I don't know. It looks like you guys just might be stuck in a cycle for a bit, but we'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle deck adds to the mix. Pre-shuffled this deck as well, but I'm just looking for one card here with general advice to wrap up with. All right, got one there. So let's see what we got. Okay, we have Deep Knowing. There's the artwork, and the number is 43. Okay, it says intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. The oracle's message. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You are given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So, interesting message there. Made me think of that magician energy that we saw in the present on your spot, in your side, rather. Also, there's the fact that Venus is moving through Sagittarius at the time of recording this, and it's eventually going to move into your sign, but you might be getting a lot of info through that transit as well. The relationship message says there are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So it's kind of funny where it mentioned how you guys are connected at a level impossible to describe. It's kind of funny because in a way you guys are mirroring each other. Like I said, it looks like you both desire the other, but neither is making that move. So like I said, for some of you, maybe that energy will clear. Maybe even just hearing this message that intuitively, if you do feel like the attraction is mutual, that might have been what you needed to get over the hump in that regard. But yeah, otherwise, it looks like this might continue a little bit longer. But like I said, it does look like the desire is mutual. So wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.